Episode 30, part 2 of Kenya's premier sports video podcast, the 3 Quarters podcast. You heard me right, episode 30. That means that give and take, we have been shooting for the last 30 weeks, and we want to thank our fans, our followers, our subscribers, our viewers, the most important stakeholders of the game of rugby in Kenya, the players, for the support you have accorded us for the last 30 weeks, or 30 or so weeks, and we don't take it for granted. And on behalf of the 3 Quarters podcast, what we say ni asanteni na shukran sana. With every passing week, the road to Japan draws closer, or the Rugby World Cup in Japan 2019 draws closer. As a matter of fact, the Kenya Simbas had their first game in the Rugby Africa Gold Cup yesterday, the 24th of June 2017 at the RFUEA grounds. Although it was not what we expected or the result that we had hoped for, we don't stop supporting the Kenya Simbas because we do believe that these boys need to be at the Rugby World Cup in Japan in 2019 to represent what's the best of this country. So how do you join us in supporting these boys? Hashtag Road to Japan. Join the Road to Japan hashtag to garner support for these boys, because as we keep saying, these guys are the superstars of rugby in Kenya. This is Ngashi official noisemaker,
Jeringus Kenyana,
and we're going to episode 30 part 2. Where we're still on matters rugby, so we start of course with Badman of the Week. Goes from yesterday's feature game, Kenya Cranes. That was like talking about a drink, Kenya Simbas versus the Uganda Rugby Cranes. That was our feature game yesterday, 24th of June 2017. Who was the Badman? Yeah.
I think a few mentions should go to the Tide 5 Kenya.
Yeah, so that's
a much improved showing.
Moses Amsala, Peter Karia, Dennis Karani, Simon Niafu, and Oliver Mangeni, and also Curtis Lilako who came in for Dennis Karani, Ladex. Yeah, but I think the Badman of the week. Yeah, this guy has come to haunt us again. Yeah, one Philip Wokorech. That's true.
Applies his trade for Cabras for now.
Yeah. Hey, don't start rumors.
Yeah, this guy once again he haunted us, man. He's kicking for points. I think it was close to 100.
It was 100%.
He only missed a conversion.
Okay,
yeah, one conversion, but the rest was 100, man. On the boot he was quite excellent, and then he's running. He had some very powerful runs, splitting our backs like crazy, man.
Yeah,
and then defense-wise as well, I think he was marshalling his defenders.
His defenders pretty well. Yeah,
he was quite good at it, man. Yeah, he had a very good outing.
Philip Wokorech seems to love the RFEA grounds, to be honest. Take into account Elgon Cup last year. We beat them here, but with Philip Wokorech had all their points. I think about also the Enterprise Cup finals, where he had a very good showing for Cabras Sugar. And this game, as you're saying, his kicking was near 100%. I mean, can't work out the fractions just now. It was near 100%. The fullback is always the defensive organizer. The way he did it, they were running their defensive line was very good. So I do agree with you. Actually, Philip Wokorech was the Badman of the week yesterday, and it also goes to say that Philip Wokorech was voted the man of the match yesterday by the larger pool of people. Our next topic, Rugby 101, where we try to educate you about the game of rugby, be it the lingo, be it the rules, so that when you guys come and watch a game, precisely Kenya versus Tunisia on July 8th, 2017, you don't float when you hear us guys talking about something. So today we are moving to the next set piece, which is lineouts, and we're talking with the infringements to deal with the lineout. Lineout basically is a way to restart play when ball has gone out of play, and it's normally conducted by the two sets of forwards forming a line or two lines with about a meter, a tunnel. And the person number 2 who bears the jersey number 2, number 16, known as the hooker, throws the ball through the middle, and then it's contested by the jumpers of both teams. Most of the times you find it's the second rows. The tallest guys are the ones who
number 4s and 5s
are the ones who contest the line out. So the first infringement I want to talk about is the throw not being straight. So whenever the ball is fed into the tunnel, it has to be at the middle of the two sets of forwards. It cannot be towards any side. And if that happens, you'll find the ref calling for a throw not the throw is not straight. So they're the two things. You have a reset, or he calls for a half penalty, and a half penalty is what you normally see this. So that is our Rugby 101.
The referee's signal for not straight.
Yes, yeah, not the exactly, not straight is this, then he calls for half penalty. So that's our Rugby 101 topic for today. That's lineouts. It's on the topic of lineouts and the throw not being straight.
Yeah.
Next topic, Simba Focus, where we focus on the Kenya Simbas during this international season. And today we're talking about basically our thoughts on outside in, not inside out. We're talking inside out because we're in the rugby fraternity. Yeah. So outside in, what's your general thinking about the knowledge of the general fans of the Kenya Simbas? Do they know the Kenya Simbas? Do they know who these guys are? And what would you like to see from the fans in general just during this international season? Because they do take on Tunisia and Senegal, which is going to be Nairobi. They go to Zimbabwe and Namibia, which now we know is going to be televised on Quest Sports, which we can access. Previously we couldn't. And then we have 2 tests at home in August against Hong Kong. So what would you want to say about the general fan angle?
I think we have 2 sets of fans. We have the core fans who actually know matters rugby. They are quite conversant with it.
Yeah.
Then there are those fans for the Sherehe fans.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think it's growing. Core fans, the guys who are actually there for the game, it's getting bigger and bigger. Because you could hear around us when we were watching the Kenya-Uganda game.
Yeah.
You could hear guys giving some technical terms here and there, throwing some knowledge of what we should do, what we shouldn't be doing. And it was a good sign for the game that is growing. And it's these core fans who can even convert these Sharia fans.
Yes.
Yeah. Once they impart a few knowledge, someone will just ask you, what did that mean?
Yes.
And lose answer, they're learning.
Yes.
They're learning. And our Rugby 101 as well.
Fits into Rugby 101. Yeah.
So, that's, I think, we are growing.
We are growing.
Yeah.
It's really impressive looking at the numbers, because the numbers that we saw yesterday, 24th June 2017 at the RFEA grounds, are the numbers we used to get for the Safari Cup 7s or Safari 7s, Tusker Safari 7s, as it was those days. We're talking about maybe 7 years ago. Those are the numbers we used to see. So to see such numbers for a 15th game is very impressive.
Very, very impressive.
And we can only keep on asking the fans to come. These rules, we learn them on a day-to-day basis. And hopefully my biggest, what I want to see out of all this is that you have some sort of conversion. You come for these international games, you see the vibe that's at a rugby game, and then you just trickle down into Kenya Cup. You pick your team, the Kenya Harlequins, Impala, pick your team and support those guys. So that's what we can always hope comes out of all this that we're trying to do in terms of sensitizing guys on the game of rugby 15s. Rabada Cup has been confirmed for 22nd July 2017. Just a short preview of what Rabada is. Rabada Cup is Rabada Cup is a cup that was started about 3-4 years ago in memory of former Kenya Sevens player and Impala and Strathmore and Mangu High School, the late Joshua Gadumbi. Over the years, it was by the way, as a result of a term he used to chant before a game. It is called Rabada. As time went, of course, we've lost a couple of guys. So last year it was Joshua Gadumbi and former Strathmore captain, Geoffrey Gedaiga, and also Mangu captain, by the way.
Mangu captain as well.
Yes, Geoffrey Gedaiga. And this year they're going to do, of course, now you bring in the other 2 people being Victor Oyodi and Ogeto Ogeshel for non-dis, yes. What normally happens is that it's a touch tournament where guys contribute. You register your teams and you go. I think last year we were there, and it's normally a good showing. And the amount, whatever is raised, goes to Kwetu Children's Home, which I think is a good initiative. What's your thought about what you saw last year during the Rabada Cup? What's your general feeling about it?
It was a fantastic tournament.
Yeah,
we actually really enjoyed ourselves as players and as fans as well. It was a good showing.
Yeah,
and going by the vibe as well. It was growing.
Yes.
It was a nice turnout of guys.
Yeah.
And you like to see more guys and more guys. Because this is rugby. It's sport.
Yes.
Come on, we can never go wrong with sports.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I think it was a good showing, and it will be a good showing. It's come to the 22nd. 22nd. Hopefully, we can have a good song.
Strap on and get back to the pitch.
And let it you enjoy your bit.
So kudos to Ian Chawaini and your team for organizing Rabada Cup this year and each and every year. And we do appreciate the efforts that you're putting in, and it spells out a good vibe from the game of rugby and what you're trying to do to the community. So kudos Ian Chawaini, Eric Kyoko, to what you guys are doing.
Vivyo hivyo.
Lions Tour has started, the British National Lions Tour to New Zealand. First game was yesterday, 24th of June 2017. It was played at the Eden Park, or Eden Park Cathedral of Rugby.
Cathedral. You just had to throw that in.
Cathedral of Rugby in New Zealand. I must add that they've never lost there since 94.
Before PS1.
Score 13-15 to the New Zealand All Blacks.
Yeah.
Thinking about the game?
I think yesterday wasn't a day for the Lions.
Yeah.
Both local and international.
both local Lions and Simbas.
Lions and Simbas.
Yes.
Yeah, but these guys, I think they had a good first half.
Yes.
If I may say, these guys were trying to they were trying to catch up. Okay, they didn't let the All Blacks take the game and take it away. They're always right behind them. But come second half, things really turned against them.
Yeah.
Because I think the All Blacks now turned the charm on.
Yes.
Yeah, the few quick tries, 2 tries from Ioni.
Yes, Ioni. Yes.
Yeah,
Reko Ioni. Yes.
And that I think really killed them.
Yeah.
And mentally, I think they were really demoralized.
Yes.
And that's when the game really went deep and went down.
And you know the shocking thing is that All Blacks lost a couple of their guys.
Yeah.
Jerome Kino left. Ben Smith left. Concussed.
Yeah.
So
I was wondering what was happening, man.
I think Lions first. There's a problem with selection because their bench was actually very strong.
Yeah, they really had a very strong
bench. Strong bench. But to be honest, guys were expecting a whitewash, which didn't happen.
Yep.
And for that, I must kudos to the Lions.
It's a good showing.
And the most important thing about Lions is the number of guys who go down to support them. 2 years ago, I was telling you yesterday that 2 years ago, when I was lucky enough to go watch the Rugby World Cup, I bumped into someone who told me that they had already booked for their tickets for this tour. That was in 2015. So the Lions always have a boisterous crowd supporting them. Of course, just rugby being a religion in New Zealand and it coming from the north, it's a very good showing. So of course the second test is next week, 1st of July 2017, and they're playing against. They're going to be playing at Westpac Stadium. So make a point of catching the British and Irish Lions taking on the New Zealand All Blacks in Aotearoa, Wellington, Westpac Stadium, 1st July 2017. That has been episode 30, part 2 of Kenya's Premier Sports Video Podcast, 3 Quarters Podcast. As always, we ask you guys to follow us on Instagram, to like our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is Ngashi, official noisemaker.
Jerry Luz, Kenyana.
Stay tuned for episode 30, part 3.
Hey,
What was it?
hapo ni haina ngaro.
Captain of the Physics.
Ulichekesha mbwesi.
Kombia mboya na fisi.